How's it going, everyone? Kind of strange today. Kind of feeling like, what the fuck is going on? In so many ways, so many more ways than one. But at the same time, this guy is what it is. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the subject matter. And the subject matter is actually going to be about potting plants and watering plants and trees and making sure that the gardens that we make are nice and have, flower beds, as they keep growing and growing. That's what we need, right? So, anyways, and we're going to be also discussing gardening tools, and greenhouses, and possibly the greenhouse effect. We might get to that. But for now, let's go ahead and start off with something really cool. So gardening tools, you all know what hoes are, and shovels, and what do you call that? We got hoes, shovels. What is that fork thing? They don't call it shovels, they call it spades. They call it spades. And there's that fucking 3-pronged fork. I can't remember what it's called right now for some reason. And then there's like rakes and shit. And then there's also there are a lot of different gardening tool vehicles. So as that thing drives around, drives forward, shifts up, shifts down, it has to plow the fields, and you sow the seeds, and then the waves is like frequently, going so fast forward, it almost looks like a spring effect, kind of like a Doppler effect. And then the springiness, going from the horizontally just passing up bar stools, it's kind of like a bar on the wall. And so with the limitations, as you have your head tilted, you tilt your head right side up. You're in the kitchen for some reason, and the kitchen is a great place to have like hanging gardens, like plants. You pot your plants, hang them from the ceiling, and you just water it every morning or every other morning or whatever, and make sure it's like close nearby a window. That way the sunlight can come through and check it out. Okay, so that's kind of a gardening 101 scenario. Easy scheme: red flower, blue flower, green flower. I personally love gardenias, I love plumerias, magnolias, and a great amount of flowers that broaden the magnitude of my strength in nature and femininity, and I love the way that it brings me into the light, so that I can focus better throughout the day with the gardening and the gardens and everything like that. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, shit, this is rough, but if we can maybe back it up a little bit and then take things slowly, and it's kind of like, instead of throwing it out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna concentrate, focus more. Sacrifice is necessary when you're gardening, because there's a lot of trimming of the stems and the leaves that are on these flowers and plants, and you just kind of gotta trim them when it's kind of growing to be too much. And you can't help the thorns on like rose bushes, rosemary, roses. You know what I mean? You can't help the thorns that's on that, because that's exactly what it is. That's what it's gonna be. And anyways, going ahead and wrapping this real quick podcast up. And the next things that I have to say is that when you're using your gardening tools, make sure you keep them clean. Make sure you keep them nice and shiny. And when you're playing around in the dirt and in the mud out there, you gotta make sure that you keep yourself clean as well. So you wear gloves, you gotta make sure you wear everything that a gardener should be wearing, in order to keep themselves clean as possible. If you got a pair of overalls and you gotta wear that, fine. And so just keep gardening, keep using your tools and what you got until you can upgrade. Go to the hardware store, pick up some more gardening tools. Get that stuff going. You get better looking materials. You get um, the colorful, like dark green type of, like evergreen, style equipment with the handles. You know what I mean? And it's almost commercial like. So just figure it out. And you gotta remember, you gotta remain as clean as possible. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.